Now let's learn how to draft a basic sleeve. The foundation of different sleeve styling is the basic sleeve. So any sleeve styles you see definitely has a foundation. Sleeves are of styling and varieties. So any sleeve styling you see definitely has a foundation. So before you can be able to style your sleeve, you should first of all know the basics of that sleeve. So that's what we'll be learning. So when you've known the basics of the sleeve, it's from there you can now do alteration to achieve any kind of sleeve. Okay, so we are going to be learning the basic foundation of a sleeve, okay, to fit any outfit. Okay, so this is the pattern paper I'll be using, and I folded it into two. All right, so we're going to be making a long sleeve with this. You can actually start with a short sleeve if it's your first time, or you can as well just make it long, whichever works for you. So to start, I'll draw a startup line just so we know that our measurement starts from somewhere. So I'll be drawing out this startup horizontal line. So whatever measurement I'm taking will be basically from here. Okay, so this is our startup line. So the next thing you need to know is there is something called a cap height. That's the area that is going to accommodate your biceps. That is the largest part of your arm. And if you don't get this right, when you wear your sleeve, it may not be fitted around that area. So you want to get the actual measurement, the right measurement that will be fitted for your bicep. Okay, so we'll be getting our cap height. Now there is a formula to get your cap height. For every sleeve you must have a cap height, so you'll be able to draft it right. So the formula to get your cap height is bust divided by 12 plus half inches. Okay, this can work for anybody. So whatever sleeve you're trying to make for, regardless of the size of the person, just divide the bust by 12 plus half inch. Whatever you get is going to serve as your cap height. So the measurement I'll be working with using this formula after the division, I got about 3.8 inches. So approximately I would just use 4 inches. Okay, so let's just assume that the remaining 0.2 can serve for allowance. So I'll just mark out 4 inches and draw this line. This is going to serve as my cap height. So the next line we'll be drawing out is our elbow line. So I'm going to be attaching a picture on how to take this measurement from the tip of your shoulder to wherever the tape meets at your elbow. Is going to serve as your elbow line. So in my case, I'll be using 12 inches because that's where it meets. So we are still going to come back to this our starting line and mark out 12 inches. So this is going to serve as my elbow line. So this is my startup line. This is my cap height. This is my elbow line. So since it's a long sleeve, we'll be needing our wrist measurement as well. So I'll be drawing my wrist line. So this would also be determined by the length of your sleeve. So I'll be using 21 inches as the length of my sleeve, and then I'll roll this line. You can label here as our wrist line because this is where we'll be inputting our wrist measurement. So let's get into putting our measurements now. So the next thing you want to do is to put a slant line that will connect this line to this line, like so. Okay, and this will be determined by your chest line measurement. This is to help give you the actual width of your sleeve. Okay, so it's not too big, it's not too small, it's just perfect. And to do this, the formula to get your chest line is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Okay, is the formula bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So whatever you get, you can just mark it. So I'm using bust 43 divided by 6 plus 1.5 is 8.6. So I'll come here to mark 8.6 here. So at this point, I'll just link a straight line that will touch the apex of this point. So you can just write down all the formulas so that when you want to use this, you can use your measurements using that formula and make your division to get your value. So the next thing you're going to do is to find the midpoint of this slant line. Okay, so what I'll do is just to place it like so from where it starts and fold my tape into two so that I'll get half of it. Whatever, wherever my tape indicates as the mid, as half of it is the midpoint. So I'll just mark it. The next thing I'll do, right on this point, I'll come up by half an inch. So you're going to use either your free hand or you can use your curve. Okay, we want to create a curve. So what we are going to do is we want to create a curve that will meet this point to this point. Can you see what we have here? And then we'll just blend it into this line like so. Just watch what I'm doing. This is going to be our back drafting. We are going to be cutting out the front as well from here. We're going to be drafting the front using this as well. So when I draft out the front, I'll label it. So to draft out the front from this apex, we are still going to meet here, but this time we're going to meet lower. It's not going to be as high as the back is. The front is going to be a little bit deeper. So we're going to draw a line linking this point to this point. So let's just do that. So I'm going to switch off my curve to draw another line linking this point to this point, but this time we are going to draw it under the slant line. So this first line, which is the back line, is passing above it, while the second line, which is going to serve as the front line, is passing below it. So just watch how I'm placing my curve rule. So this is what we have here. Can you see? When we want to cut it, you understand why the front and the back is different. So let me label it. This is the back. The first line we drew is the back, and this second line is the front. Okay, let me quickly call your attention to this. If you're making a short sleeve, you'll be needing this line, which is going to serve as the arm line for the length of that your short sleeve. Okay, so whatever your short sleeve is, you just take that line, and it is on this line you're going to put your round arm measurement divided by 2. Whatever you get, go ahead to mark it. So if you want the sleeve fitted or free, you can just determine the value by putting it on that line. Also, your elbow measurement divided by 2, whatever you get, you just put it there. The wrist measurement divided by 2 as well. So since it's not a short sleeve, you're just going to ignore this line and connect this line through this line we have marked right here. So this is what our sleeves look like. We'll go ahead now to cut it. And first of all, we'll be cutting out the back before we adjust the front. This is what our basic sleeve looks like, but the front, like I said, is always deeper than the back. So we are going to open it up so we'll be able to adjust the front. Okay, so this back is already carrying the back line that we drew here. So we are now going to cut out the front from this place we have traced out. So I'll be following this line that we drew, this second line we drew, indicating our front because it's always deeper than the back. So this is what we have here. So when you turn it, you can see that the front and the back are not the same. Can you see now that the front is deeper than the back? So this is how to draft your basic sleeve. It's going to work for any outfit. When you have successfully gotten your basic sleeve, then you can now alter it to any style of sleeve you want. So whatever sleeve I'll need to alter, if I'll be using a long sleeve, then I'll be using this to make it.